What if everything we've been taught about evolution, human nature, and even our own biology is based on an incomplete story? For generations, we've been told that life is shaped by genetics, competition, and survival of the fittest. But what if cooperation, consciousness, and our relationship with nature play far greater roles than we've been led to believe? This is Wellness by Design. I'm your host, Jane Hogan, and my guest today is Dr. Bruce Lipton. Bruce is a internationally recognized cell biologist, and he is the author of a book that shaped my life, and that's called The Biology of Belief, translated into many languages, millions of copies sold. He has a new book coming out that we are talking about today called Beyond Darwin, and it's going to offer you a lot of hope in where we are heading as a human race and what we can do to make this world a better place. All right, I'll see you inside the episode, and don't forget, if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. If you're new here, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. And also, if you haven't yet got a copy of my book, you can download a free chapter at thewellnessengineer.com/free chapter to get your free chapter of Pain Free on Purpose, Use Your Mind to Heal Your Body and Get Your Life Back. And I've actually quoted Bruce Lipton in my book. Okay, I'll see you inside the episode. Dr. Bruce Lipton, I am so excited and delighted to welcome you to the podcast today. Your book, that I read first, The Biology of Belief, was life-changing for me. And now I'm excited about this new book that you've come out, which I know is also going to be life-changing. So thank you so much for being here today.
Jan, I am so honored to be with you for a very important reason. As the new book we will discuss, we're facing an evolutionary upheaval. And to get through it is really getting more knowledge. And this is why I just want to honor you for helping civilization by providing your program where you offer new insights and new ideas to help people get a better life. That is true evolutionary leadership. And I just wanted to say thank you for bringing the people to the forefront. And A, that was that. And B, I just want to thank the audience because your interests are real important to help us move from the chaos of today into the peace of tomorrow. Thank you.
Gosh, well, that means so much to me. You can't even imagine. But let's start with that, because you and I were just saying that people are feeling chaos. People are feeling a lot, living in a lot of fear. And what your book, your new book, the Beyond Darwin, offers is hope. And so we want to start with that first of all. Let people know there is a different narrative. And that is what you're presenting in your book, Beyond Darwin. So,
yes.
Yeah, why move beyond Darwin? Let's start there.
Well, people, even if you don't know the theory, you also understand that the summary of the theory has always been survival of the fittest and the struggle for life. Couple of problems. Number one, the struggle for life. There is no struggle for life until we make one. Life doesn't come with struggle. And the bigger problem is really based on survival of the fittest.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Well, here's a very interesting concept. The definition of the word fit, just plain fit, means capable of surviving. Well, it isn't survival of the fit. It's called survival of the fittest. I go, well, what does that mean? Well, I can say there's a range of fitness. You're just fit now. Oh, they're just fit. Oh, but these are a little more fit. They're fitter. Okay. Oh, and this group, they're the most fit. They're the fittest. So it doesn't say survival of the fit. It says survival of the group at the end. the fittest. Well, originally, the fittest, when Darwin wrote the theory in Victorian England, the fittest meant the upper class. What Darwin was saying was survival of the upper class. We don't need the other ones. Those are the feeder layers, you might say, supporting the upper class. But evolution comes from the fittest. Well, okay, we don't have that today, upper class, lower class, although technically we might. But we do have a different perception of upper class, and that's the 1%. And it's actually less than 1%. I go, what? Who? What? I say, the most wealthy people in the world, the upper class, less than 1% of the population. I go, so what? I say, imagine all the resources of the planet as a pie. And then I say, the 1% has taken more than half of that pie out. I go, so what? I say, well, less than half a pie is left for 99%. And all of a sudden, you see, there's this competition for the remnants of that pie to get them. Then I say, so what is the problem? I go, survival of the fittest doesn't have any, and this is important, morality to it. Meaning, whatever it takes to be the fittest, you do it. Even if you hurt thousands of people, it's like, that's their problem. I'm the fittest. I don't care about their problem. Well, that is the problem. That the so-called fittest are out for themselves, not for helping civilization or humanity. And the significance is once they are applying the mechanism, the fittest, I go, how can you be the fittest? The answer, any way possible. And I say, what about the rest of civilization? It's like, man, who cares about them? I'm trying to be the fittest. I go, wow. Competition, the way we are using the term today, is winner-loser. In a competition, winner-loser. And I'm going, the problem is most of us become the losers in the world competition today. But let's go back to a time when the term competition was first introduced, and it meant this, striving together. It says this, competition wasn't winner or loser. Competition was to make us better. I go, come on. I go, yeah, look, if I'm a tennis player, and I always acknowledge, no, I'm not a tennis player, but if I was, if I played people who were not as good as me every time I played, I wouldn't get any better at my game. Matter of fact, I might just lose some of the edge because it was so easy to beat the other ones. But if I play people who are better than I am, that forces me to become better, to try and beat them. So I'm not trying to kill them. I'm trying to better myself to be above that. So competition meant to make us in a better situation. Today, no, it's winner or loser, and it's quite unfortunate because civilization is on a dead-end trail, and we're hitting the wall, and the chaos that is evident all over the world, these are symptoms. Economic, political, social, racial, religious, even gender chaos. I said, these are symptoms. They're not the basic problem. I said, what's the problem? Simple mathematics. I go, what? That today's civilization, right now, civilization across the planet, requires the resources of 1.6 planet Earth. You go, wait. We need resources of 1.6 planets? I go, yeah. So we don't have one planet. Where is the point 0.6 extra resources coming from?
Mhm.
We're destroying the ecosystem. We're polluting air, water, soil. We're pillaging the resources out of the environment. We're cutting down the forests, which are the lungs of the planet, so to speak. And I go, what are we doing? I say, human civilization is collapsing the web of life. That in 50 years, more than 60% of the animals, more than 60% of the animal population has disappeared. We only have less than a third of the animals that were on this planet 50 years ago. And I said, why? Because we're destroying the ecosystem. To do what? Well, cut down the rainforest in Brazil for what reason? More hamburgers. It's like, oh my God. We're destroying ourselves. Self-destruction in a body which is matching the environment by no coincidence. Their self-destruction is the biggest cause of the health crisis. I go, self-destruction. Oh, wait, let me give you the technical term. Autoimmune disease is defined as self-destruction.
Yeah.
Your own cells are killing your own cells. I said, that's what people are doing out here. So the image
Mm.
is the same. Okay.
The
So,
fractals.
and the big point about all this is you cannot repair the current civilization because the foundation of the civilization is so corrupt that you can't put band-aids on it and fix it. It has to collapse. And so as you see the chaos, and a lot of people are going, oh, fear, it's
Mm.
falling down. I go, if it doesn't fall down, you're in for a worse situation than you could ever imagine. Because in a very short time, we will have destroyed the garden. The garden. Okay? I say, why is that important? I say, we evolved from the garden. We
Mm.
cannot be here if the garden is not here. So we are, as a civilization, in a very self-destructive behavior at this time. And the most important part is get out of the current civilization, which is corrupt, okay? And therefore it has to come down. Now, here comes a futurist a while back called Buckminster Fuller wrote that you don't go in and fight the current civilization. You step outside and build a new civilization, and then the people will come from the old to the new. So, then,
Hmm.
science
Yeah.
has come down with a very interesting fact that within 10 to 20 years, more likely 10, civilization is facing, this is a scientific reality, an irreversible, let me emphasize, irreversible collapse of civilization within that 20 years and maybe 10. Irreversible means we're not going back. It didn't work then, and we can't go forward until we fix things. And so the stuff we need to fix is bubbling up to the surface. You know, we have
Mm.
the Me Too generation, okay? We have racial intolerance and religious intolerance coming up to the surface. All of this has to be repaired before we can move into a sustainable world. So those people that are holding on to the current situation and are in fear of it falling down will inevitably be part of the statistics of the health crisis.
Hmm.
The stress of holding on to a system that is collapsing is the major cause of 90 some percent of the health crisis. One thing, stress. And the stress levels going higher and higher if you're holding on to the old one. So if you let go and say, okay, we're going to move into another place, you can let go of the stress
Hmm.
and forward to the building of a new garden. To and it's really interesting because the young people are the ones that are feeling this very much the most. And I go,
It's
why?
true.
Oh, they all have education. I got a degree at the college. Oh, yeah, I'm serving hamburgers at McDonald's. I go, young people see hopelessness.
Mm,
Why? They can't even afford to get their own apartment. But the idea of a house is like, forget about it. They even have to share an apartment because the money is very hard for them to get. And they look at them, we're not part of your civilization. I go, that's a good sign. I go, what do you mean? I said, it's not time to join a civilization that's failing. That the young people are on the outside means they have no allegiance to that one, which
mm,
means as we're building a new one, it will be founded by a lot of young people. And I go, why? I say, the jobs that they're looking for and they can't find in today's civilization, those jobs in today's world are going to collapse. And new jobs are coming up. I say, new jobs? I go, yeah, restoration of the garden, that there'll be all new
mm.
jobs of helping the environment, enhancing life on the planet, supporting the other organisms in the garden. A garden, very interesting. A garden is not a battleground. A garden is the height of community. Why? All the organisms in the garden work in harmony to manifest the garden.
And they
We're the,
cooperate.
yes, and we're the only organism in the garden that we came into that are not in harmony with the garden. And the disharmony is causing a collapse of the garden. So, young
Mm,
people, there's a future ahead, and it's going to be very bright because all new jobs are going to start manifesting. So you don't have to get
yeah.
at the tail end of the old jobs. You can be the leaders of the new jobs. So hopefully, people will start to realize that and stop fearing the collapse. Because I said the greater fear is if it does not collapse because we're hitting a wall and we must evolve. And so this is the wake up call. And I go, why Beyond Darwin as the title of the book? And the answer is the whole idea there are two facts of Darwinian theory 100% false. I go, okay, fact number one, the belief in Darwinian theory is based on genes that more genes make more complexity. And that as you go up the evolutionary tree from simple organisms up to humans, there's going to be more and more and more genes. And they anticipated that a human should have about 100,000 genes. Well, the Human Genome Project revealed we have about 22,000 genes. And there are primitive organisms that I use in my lecture, a worm with 1,250 cells that has 20,000 genes. I go, we have 50 trillion cells with 22,000 genes.
You're not much above a worm.
No. And the big failure right now, and this is a wake up call, big failure. Genes are blueprints to make the body parts called protein. Okay?
Mhm.
The protein are the building blocks. And the genes are blueprints to make proteins. I go, so? I go, a blueprint does not control itself. A blueprint needs to be read by what? An architect. Okay? I go, so why is it relevant? Your whole life you've been programmed that genes turn on and off by themselves.
Mhm.
I say, what does the program conclude? Here it is. As far as we know, you didn't pick the genes, which I think you did. But as far as we know, we didn't pick the genes. If you don't like our characteristics, Can't change the genes, though. And lastly, add genes turn on and off by themselves. And I said, what does that mean for the average person? We are victims of our heredity. That what is running in the family is genetic, and if it's like cancer and it's running in the family, you're going to get the cancer. Well, let me tell you something. Just a little wake-up call, you ready? There's not one gene that causes cancer. There's no gene that causes cancer. 90% or more of cancer, lifestyle.
Yeah.
The new science of epigenetics says the environment, and more specifically the mind, controls our genetics. If you change your mind, you change your genetics. The mind is the architect. It designs what genes are going to be activated in your body and can change the readout of those genes to fit the vision. And so basically, the whole idea that genes control us, 100% false. And that cancer, no gene, cancer is a behavior passed from family to family.
Yeah.
So it runs in the lineage, but it's not genetic, it's behavior, okay?
Same with most chronic diseases.
Almost all. As a matter of fact, again, that number is 90%, talks about the reality that, well, let me put it this way. Less than 1% of disease is connected to genes. Less than 1%. That means 99% of the health crisis has nothing to do with genes and heredity. It's all lifestyle and consciousness, okay? Which empowers us, because if genes control us, then we become the victim of those genes. But if the mind controls us, so we're the ones that can control the mind. It's like, oh, we're the masters? Yeah, you're going to have to change that belief that you grew up with, a victim. No, we are masters. So if something is wrong, we have to stop blaming the body and start saying, what is our thinking not in harmony with life, okay? That's problem number one. Problem number two, we just mentioned, the idea that life is based on competition, winner or loser, 100% wrong.
Yeah,
Life is based on cooperation,
it is.
harmony,
Yeah.
living together as unity. And so we are completely living in the wrong direction with competition when cooperation is the drive force for evolution. So Darwin's theory is self-destructive. And we're manifesting it today fuller than ever in history because the competition is more severe and more dangerous than it ever was before. So we have to change the way we're living. And Beyond Darwin offers a new scientific theory, modern science, not Darwinian 1800 science. This is today's science, is a new theory that does not emphasize genes at all, but it sure as heck emphasizes lifestyle, consciousness, and living in harmony. And Jane's work has always been trying to get you to wake up to the nature of your lifestyle and the way you're living. And that's why I'm honored to be here with her, because together we are trying to lift you up, to give you your power, because you have been programmed to be powerless. Programmed. So why? Because if just think, if you are powerless, you will pay somebody to compensate for your lack of power. Oh, I don't control my health. Pharmaceutical company will do it. Let me pay them. Or, and the issue about that is pharmaceutical companies is one of the leading causes of death. In the United States, 300,000 people die every year from prescription drugs. Less than 100,000 die from illegal drugs. Or we have a war on illegal drugs. I say, 3 times more people die from the pharmaceutical company. And yet we keep funding them. And every 15 minutes on television in the U.S., you're getting an ad for a drug to fix your life that doesn't seem to be working. So just take a drug. I go, it will kill you because
It
it's the
doesn't address
mind.
root cause.
That's it. So, yeah, Jen, what do you think about all that?
I love what you're saying there, Bruce, because this whole idea of competition and survival of the fittest, it is so obviously wrong because that is not what we see in nature.
No.
It's not. I mean, the trees, of all the fungi, all the organisms, they support each other. Even when you think about, lions chasing a herd of antelope, one will break away from the group so that the lions can be fed. They're like
Well, even
making a conscious choice to.
let me add something to that, and it's very important that when human hunters go out, they look for the biggest, strongest, the one with the biggest antlers or the
Mm,
tusk or the biggest healthy ones, and we kill them. I go, oh my God, those were the ones that hold the herd together.
mhm,
The lion doesn't kill the biggest one. The lion kills the weakest one,
mhm,
the one that is actually taking away from the genetic prowess of
mhm,
the herd, the one that would weaken the herd in
mhm.
reproduction. So predators, lions, wolves, and things like that, they're a benefit to the whole because they eliminate only the weakest elements of the community, in contrast to humans as predators taking the strongest one.
Mhm.
Complete destruction, human way.
And people might think that that looks like survival of the fittest, but it's really I wonder, consciousness of the herd that is deciding, how we are going to cooperate to be harmonize in nature, harmonize all the species together. So it just makes so much sense to me that you're bringing this whole different idea of that it's not correct to say survival of the fittest. Cooperation is actually the future and where we need to go if we're going to survive. And
Right.
and the other thing you talked about there, you talked about the mind controlling the expression of genes. And then you also talked about consciousness. So I would love to like explore that. What's the
Yes.
difference between the mind, the consciousness? What do you mean by that?
Well, the first thing, misleading, and I was just doing that. I said, the mind is in charge. I go, the mind? Like, there's just one mind? I go, that's where the problem comes from. There are two minds that are interdependent, they work in harmony with each other. I go, two minds? Yeah. The latest evolution of the brain, right behind your forehead, is what is referred to as the conscious mind.
Mm-hmm.
The character of the conscious mind, which is, as you get up the evolution, uh, is an evolution of consciousness. Bacteria, the lowest one on the tree, are conscious. Why? Conscious definition, okay, is being able to respond to the environment, okay? Which means you have to be able to understand to some degree the environment and then, activate a behavior to respond to those. A bacterium is intelligent to this point. If you try and kill it, it will do everything in its power to stay alive. Okay? That's something called a biological imperative, and we might come back to that. But it means this: the drive to survive is built into every organism, from bacteria to humans. And in fact, the stresses of today's world are predicated on the biological imperative. Why? Whether you're thinking about it or not, your body can tell that your life is under threat. There's a
Mhm.
threat of trying to survive in this world. And your biological imperative is waking you up saying, come on, you have to do something because your life is under threat. Okay, that's a sidebar. Let's go back to conscious mind, latest evolution. Uh, the character is creativity, imagination. Okay,
Mhm.
and imagination can be turned into manifestation. If you can imagine it, you can make it. Okay, so I say, so what? The latest evolution of the mind is called the conscious mind. It's the foundation of your wishes and your desires and the things you want in life. If I ask you, I say, hey, Jane, tell me what you want in your life. Jane's answer, whatever it is coming from the creative conscious mind,
Mhm.
the imagination. This is what I would like. Okay? Well, that's about 10% of the brain, conscious mind. 90%, a big part of the brain, they call subconscious mind. It was here before conscious mind. I go, subconscious mind? I go, yeah. Its principle is not creativity, it's habituation. I go, what do you mean? Habit. Learn something, make it a habit. Why? You don't have to relearn it. And it's available at just the instant. And habits are good, some of them. Uh,
Mhm.
when did you learn how to walk? Before 2? Are you still walking? You can be 100. Are you still walking? I go,
Okay.
yeah. I say, that's because when you were that infant, you downloaded the behavior of how to walk. There was a learning period, how to walk. Once you learned, program. Never have to do it again. Great. Driving a car. Do you have to pay attention? I go, no, the subconscious mind knows how to drive a car. You programmed it. It's a program, okay? So the subconscious mind has programs. And now here comes a number. So it's like, and here it is. Over 60% of the subconscious mind programs are self-sabotaging, disempowering, or limiting programs that limit our ability. More than half of the subconscious programs take away your power. I go, wow. I go, now comes the number. And this number is connected to a very important fact. Consider your conscious mind as the driver of this vehicle. The body is a vehicle, okay? Consider it a vehicle, and the conscious mind, using the eyes, are looking out at the world. So when you're driving your vehicle, you can drive to wishes and desires. Okay, conscious mind.
Mhm.
Well, the conscious mind can look out the window, like I said, look at the world, see what's going on, make behavior to fit. But the conscious mind, this is it, folks, can think. I go, what? Okay. Thinking is not looking out. Thinking is looking in.
Mhm.
If you have a thought, it's not out here. The thought is in here. So the moment you are thinking, the conscious mind, by definition, is not looking out, it is looking in. So what is going on in the world when you're thinking, your conscious mind's not paying attention to? You go, well, driving the car. If I start thinking, when I get to the store, I'm going to buy X, Y, and Z, I'm thinking about it. I say, the moment you were thinking about what you were going to do in the store, you were no longer looking out the windshield of your car. You were no longer driving the car with your wishes and desires. I said, yeah, but the car was doing okay. I didn't kill anybody. I didn't get in an accident. I'm driving the right speed limit. And here is, here. Gene, I want to make this the most important point. Okay? The subconscious is autopilot. I go, what does that mean? What you're not paying attention to, the subconscious can manage without you paying attention. When you were thinking about what you were going to do in the store, the subconscious autopilot took over the driving.
Mm-hmm.
I go, the subconscious is a million times more powerful than computers than the conscious mind, so it knows how to drive the car better than you, the program. Okay? So the issue is this. How much time are we thinking? Well, science says 95% of the day we're thinking. Oh, what does that mean? You ready? Your life, 95% is coming from the programs in the subconscious. The conscious mind being busy thinking is only leading you 5% of the day. Only 5% of the day are you going toward wishes and desires. 95% of the day you're being driven by the programs, most of which are disempowering and self-sabotaging. And you go,
Mm-hmm.
oh, well, I was doing that. I said, see, that's where the problem comes from. I said, what? Why are you playing subconscious programs? And the answer is, because I'm not paying attention. I go, then you're the one that does not see your own behavior 95% of the day. Jane, probably on the last time I was with you 4 years ago, I also used this analogy. You have a friend, you know your friend's behavior very, very well. You happen to know your friend's parent. One day you see your friend has the same behavior as the parent, so you acknowledge to your friend, you go, hey, Bill, you're just like your dad. And then I'll tell you what, back away from Bill. I go, why? Because I'll tell you what Bill said, and you know what he said. He said, how can you compare me to my dad? I'm nothing like my dad. I go, how come everybody else in the world can see Bill behaves like his dad, and the only one who can't see it? Bill. And the answer is simple. When Bill is thinking 95% of the day, he's playing subconscious programs, the vast majority of which are disempowering. But Bill cannot see the programs that he is playing because his conscious mind is not looking out.
Yeah.
His conscious mind is on the inside. So whatever the subconscious mind is doing, Bill can't see it, but everybody else does. And everybody else's response to Bill is based on his subconscious program. If he has a negative program, 60% or more, okay,
Mm-hmm.
then the people responding to his auto programs are responding to a negative behavior that Bill possesses. And their response is not positive to Bill's negative behavior. And then Bill is upset because he's not getting his wishes and desires. I go, oh, the 5% of the day? No, that's not enough time to manifest wishes and desires. Bill's upset because his life's not working. And then here comes the problem for Bill. He doesn't see he's involved. He sees everybody else's behavior is undermining him. Bill perceives himself to be a victim.
Mm-hmm.
If I was managing my life, I would be making wishes and desires. But I'm not managing that. Why? Those people, I don't know, Bill, you didn't see it was your own behavior that set off that behavioral character.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Jane, with that description, you ready for this? We are all Bill.
Yeah.
Every one of us is doing this every day. And we're not manifesting the wishes and desires because we're playing the program. Then I say, now wait a minute. There's a movie called The Matrix. I go, so what? I say, it's listed as science fiction in the catalog, but The Matrix is a documentary. Yeah, I said, why? What's the premise? Everybody's been programmed. I go, well, that's a scientific reality. All humans are programmed up to age 7 by just observing the world and downloading behavior from outside. So I said, yep, all humans are programmed. But here comes the wake up part. In the movie, if you take the red pill, you get out of the program. I go, wow. I go, now almost everybody out there right now watching this program, almost every one of you has taken the red pill at least once with the most profound changes in your life. I go, what? Falling in love. I go, what do you mean? I go, your life was blah, 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 blah. You meet somebody. You fall in love. 24 hours later, you have a different life. You're beginning to experience the honeymoon. What's the honeymoon? Heaven on earth. How come? 24 hours, boom, new behavior. Falling in love is the red pill. Science has discovered when you fall in love, you stop thinking and stay in the present moment. I go, so why? I go, your thinking is what caused the program to play. If you stop thinking, you stop playing the program. Then what? Now your life is controlled 90% of the day by the conscious mind because the subconscious mind is not being engaged. I said, so the conscious mind, I go, wishes and desires. And within 24 hours, you have changed the character of your life from blah, blah, blah to honeymoon. I go, that is the example of what your life would be like without playing the program. And all of a sudden I say, but that would be heaven on earth. I go, aha. That's the point. That with the idea of the conscious mind and the power we possess, we can manifest heaven on earth, not just for the honeymoon period, but for the whole of your life. I go,
Mhm.
well, how come the honeymoon period disappears? Because it does. How come 50% of marriages fall apart? Because they do. I go, why? And the answer is simple. It's this. When you fell in love, you stopped playing the programs. The
Mhm.
programs have the negative behavior in them. So your partner never sees your negative behavior. They fall in love with your conscious mind, wishes and desires. That's where two people come from. Wishes and desires, manifesting heaven on earth. But once you start thinking, all of a sudden the programs from the subconscious start manifesting. Most of them negative. Your partner, up until that moment, has never even seen one of those negative programs. But once you start thinking, your behavior is not coming from wishes and desires. It's coming from subconscious, 60% more negative, disempowering,
Mhm.
self-sabotaging. Your partner looks at you and goes, who are you? Where does that come from? Meaning, since they've never ever seen the negative behavior, once you manifest it because of your thinking, your partner now looks at that behavior and goes, well, that wasn't you. I mean, that's not the you I fell in love with. That's not the you that we had during the honeymoon. There's this other you showing up. And the more you think, the more the negative you shows up. The more the negative you shows up, the more likely you and your partner will be in arguments. And the problem, why the argument? Because your partner sees your behavior and you don't. So your partner accuses you of something, say, what are you talking about? That's not me. I go, no, it's not your conscious mind. It was the program you played that you didn't see, that your partner saw, that was subconscious. Okay? So 50% of these marriages started out because of conscious mind to conscious mind wishes and desires manifestation. The divorce comes about when the conscious mind goes back to 5% and 95% of that behavior is coming from the negative programs you've downloaded that your partner is like, that's not why I'm here. I didn't
Hmm.
come here for that. And then life falls apart. It's not the honeymoon. It's life.
Hmm.
Okay, I still like my partner. Well, yeah. Sometimes she's a bitch, or sometimes he's a bastard. But I still like them. But it's not. I'm in love with them.
And Bruce, I think what we're talking about here is we want to shift out of that. We don't want to be in that running 95% of the time unconscious. And I know in your book, The Darwin Effect, you talk about a conscious evolution. And
Yes.
so I believe, we're shifting from that victim to being the creator. You talked about manifestation. A lot of people think it's, there's sort of woo-woo, but science, like what we're learning from quantum physics, is that we can become creators. So let's talk about this conscious evolution that you're talking about in your book.
Well, the evolution is this. Your life is coming from your program, 95%.
Hmm.
You're not even familiar with the program. Why? You were being programmed because the brain, through age 7, is not even functioning at the level of conscious activity.
Hmm.
A child up through 7 is the brain is functioning at a lower vibration called theta. Theta is imagination.
Hmm.
This is the character of children, imaginary friends. Okay, I always give the example because it's fun. The tea party. I go, wow. I say, you poured nothing into the cup. You drank nothing, and then you exclaim, "Well, that's the best tea I ever had." I go, ah. That is an example of imagination in theta. I go, yeah, but now comes the serious. I say, what? Theta is hypnosis. I go, why should I have hypnosis for 7 years? And the answer is simple. The brain is a computer. In the old days, we buy a computer. It didn't come with a program. No. You buy a brand new computer. You plug it in, you push start, the screen lights up. It's booted up. Now I say, do something. And you go, I can't. I said, you got a brand new computer. Not till I put programs in a computer can I use a computer. The brain is not like a computer. The brain is the most powerful computer humans have ever experienced. I go, so what? It's a computer. And I say, so what? You have to put programs in before you use it. So nature created 7 years of hypnosis, theta, so you can download programs. By what? Watching. Watch your mother, watch your father, watch your community. Why? Because the behavior you will observe is presumably the behavior to be a member of a family and the behavior to be a member of a community. You observe,
Hmm.
oh, that's what I have to do. I go, well, how do you get those programs? I say, hypnosis. I go, now I say, where's the problem? I say, if your parent, let's say, has a dysfunctional behavior, you will unconsciously download that behavior in hypnosis in the first 7 years. Okay, personal example. My father and mother had a dysfunctional relationship. I'm a kid. I'm just observing my father's behavior, downloading it. My conscious mind isn't assessing the program. My conscious mind's not even working. I'm downloading directly. So I say, so what? Unconsciously, I have downloaded dysfunctional relationship behavior. So what? For 40 plus years of my life, I could not get a relationship. I said, why? Because once my thinking mind was busy thinking, my subconscious with the bad behavior relationship programs from my father, I was playing. And those programs pushed potential relationships away. I had no real relationships really for 40 plus years. Oh my God. What happened? Okay, and the resolution that Jane knows is you can change the program.
Mm-hmm.
And if you change the program, you can write programs that support you rather than employing programs that undermine you. Think of a very simple point. My conscious mind has wishes and desires. What if I put in my subconscious programs the programs of my wishes and desires? What does that mean? It means simply this. Well, my conscious mind is active and going toward wishes and desires, only 5% of the day. 95% of the day, when my subconscious is engaged, it will do what? Manifest wishes and desires. Oh my God. I could I could have heaven on earth every day. I go, that is what we were given. It's only the programs that we have downloaded from others that have removed that power.
Mm-hmm.
And if you change your programs, you become the creator of your life. And I go, so why is that important? I'll give you one insight. I go, what is it? I say, Jane, tell me what your vision of heaven is. And Jane would give me all of this, that, these are things that, oh, this would be heaven, would be beautiful. Okay. And then I ask you, what's your vision of heaven? Oh, well, some of the same things Jane has, but you have your own vision of heaven. I ask the neighbor of you, tell me theirs. All of a sudden we start to find most people have their own very specific vision of heaven. I go, so, and here comes the point. If it wasn't for the programs that disempower you, you will be able to manifest your vision of heaven here now. I go, why is that important? The answer is this. A program you have received that is disempowering is, oh, if you have a good life now, when you die, you can go to heaven. I go, you wasted your life. I go, what do you mean? This is heaven. Planet Earth. Here. Now. Heaven. I go, yeah, but it doesn't look like it. I go, oh, that's because the programs you're playing, you have been disempowered by those programs. And your life is not manifesting wishes and desires until you fall in love. And the moment you fall in love, then you manifest wishes and desires. And I say, what did you manifest? Heaven on earth. And so the whole point is this. Man, don't wait till you die. You're missing the creative aspect. And I go, well, what do you mean? I go, the body is an adjunct to the body, to our lives. It enhances our lives. I go, why? Because I can manifest my vision using my body. I can build, make, change, fix. I can create using this body. So this chance is that the body and the mind are separate. The mind comes from the spirit. The body is used by the spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Analogy, and this is a good one. You're watching a TV show, and the TV breaks, and we say, yep, the television is dead. I say, did the broadcast of that show, did the broadcast die? I go, no, the broadcast's not in the TV. There are antennas that pick up the broadcast and play through the TV.
Mm-hmm.
But guess what? The body is the equivalent of the TV. The spirit is the broadcast that is picked up by antennas on your cells called self-receptors. I go,
Hmm.
so what does that mean? I say, the body being the TV. If the body dies, did you die? I go, no. Why? You're not in here. You're the broadcast. And so if your body dies, you're still here as an energy field. Now, without a body, it's going to be hard to talk to me and be hard for me to talk to you. Well, I can talk to you because I have a body, okay? But the point about it is what? You are immortal as a spirit. I go, so? I go, here comes the fun part. What if an embryo shows up in the future with the same set of self-receptors? I didn't mention this, I'll bring it in right now. No two people in the entire world, 8 billion people, no two people have the same set of antennas.
Really?
Each human is downloading a different signal. This is why, which in my research was like, asked the question years ago, how come I can't put my cells or organ into Jane's body? I'll tell you why. Because if I transplant, let's say, a lung or kidney into Jane, her immune system will look at the transplant and say, not self.
Yeah.
Well, wait a minute. If I put my cells in your body, your immune system will say not self. If you put your organ into somebody else's body, their immune system will say not self. Point: there are there are no two selves the same,
Hmm.
and that means each of us is unique. I go, what makes us unique? Not the liver, the lungs, the kidney, the body, the broadcast. And the broadcast is being picked up by your antennas. Nobody else has the same set. You are playing a station. I'm playing the Bruce show on my TV right now. Okay? Bruce is not in here. Bruce is here playing through here. Okay?
Right.
If my TV body dies, Bruce is still here, not as a body, but as a broadcast. And then if an embryo shows up in the future with the same antennas that you have, you're back. It's called reincarnation.
Hmm.
I go, does it make a difference if my new TV is male or female? I go, no. You see, you're not the TV. You're the broadcast. I go, does it make a difference if my body is white, brown, black, red, yellow? I go, no, you are not the body. You are the broadcast. I
Hmm.
go, so what's relevant? All humans, irregardless of sex or race, came from the same broadcast field. I download my station, you download your station. And the station is identity. Your identity is not, as you say, this body, that's the TV. That's your current version of your identity. If you die, the broadcast's still there. New body shows up with the same antennas, download, back, new body. Okay? There's a very important lesson here. I go, what is it? We all came from the very same source. I go, but once we got into the body, our programming separated us.
Hmm.
There are different religions, one religion against the other religion. I go, well, then I'm fighting because my religious beliefs differ from yours. We could have a war, which most wars were religious in origin. I go, so why is this important? We're fighting each other's programs, even though we all came from the very same source. All humans come from the same source. All humans are related to all humans because as identity, We all came from the same energy field called spirit. And when we recognize this, then the divisions that have separated people based on race, religion, gender, whatever, the separations are not real.
Hmm.
Those are programs of separation. If you reprogram that and understood we all are from the same source,
Hmm.
then all humans start to recognize we are individual cells in the body of a superorganism. What humanity is a superorganism where we each are cells in the body of that superorganism. A unity, a unity that if we brought that to the planet, would eliminate war, bias, all the issues that we face as one person
Competition.
against another. Competition. Why? We're all the same source. And then a lot of religious people might be upset, but listen to this. You are a creator of your own life. Your conscious mind's wishes and desires are manifesting with hope. You're manifesting those wishes and desires, even though the programs are in a way. But what was the point about all this? Is that I'm a creator. Well, wait, you're a creator. I create my life. You create your life. I go, wait, we're all creators. I go,
Hmm.
aha! My spirit is not separate from your spirit in the source. I go, so why is this important? Because what is God? I go, all of the creators as one. When all humans recognize the unity of our source, that source is God.
Hmm.
And you are personally your own personal God because the manifestation of your life is not dependent on me, it's dependent on you. And the idea is, what about the harmony that we're lacking? I say, if humans finally recognize the harmony in humanity, then they will recognize the harmony of humans in the garden. And that as creators, rather than being the current destructors,
Hmm.
we could be the manifestors of turning the planet back into a garden that we came from. So there's hope.
Hmm.
It's happening. And the chaos is a sign that is hopeful. Because if we bring down the self-destructive civilization, we can build up the unity civilization, where we all work in harmony and manifest a garden and wake up every day being in love. That's the destination.
I I love that evolution, Bruce, and it may be hard for some people to grasp, but we are headed, if we look towards the evidence, and that's what science is, it's looking at evidence, it's making observations, which you have presented in this book, we can see we are going there.
Yes,
We can
that's the
see that
cool
we are going
part.
there.
That's the cool part. That's why I'm excited. I see it falling down, and I'm the guy that's over here. Yay! It's going falling down. Everybody else goes.
Yeah.
I go, yay! Why? Because the evolution requires the breakdown of the self-destruction that human civilization is manifesting to
Hmm.
manifest the unity that will bring a garden back. And therefore, if people get the message, let's get out of the fear and start recognizing that evolution is based on community.
Community,
Community,
cooperation, harmony.
family, harmony, community of people, community of people with nature.
Mhm. Bruce, how would you say for the person that's just listening to this and seeing some of these ideas, but maybe they've been caught up in in the, the destruction because it's on the news, you're hearing it
Yeah,
everywhere, they're
oh, they're
seeing
selling
groceries are
you.
more expensive.
They're selling you disempowerment. Because
Yeah,
if you live in fear, you give
hmm,
up power.
right. So how can people, start to do the shift?
Well,
What
first
would
of
you
all, you have to
suggest?
recognize your programming is self-destructive.
Hmm.
Okay, uh, most of the program you have no idea that you even have a program. I go, why? You were being programmed 3 months before you were born.
Hmm.
Well, what program did you get? Well, I don't know. Oh, you programmed the whole year from 0 to 1. What program did you get? I don't know. Okay, you were programming another whole year from 1 to 2. I don't know. So let
They
me
don't
help
even
you.
realize they're living in a
You
program.
don't know you have a program, but let me tell you about the nature of your program that you can figure out right now. It goes like this. Look at your life right now and recognize a simple fact. The things you like that come into your life, you have programs to support them. But, emphasize, but the things you desire and you work hard at, struggle over, sweat over, put all your, I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to make it happen. Health, relationship, whatever, job. You're struggling. It's not because you can't have it. A struggle means your programs do not support the destination you're looking for.
Mm.
And now you know the good program versus a bad program. And then you can change those programs. Very quickly, just say it. There are three ways only where you can controllably change the program. One is, how did I get the program for 7 years? My mind was in theta. I
Right.
go, every night when you go to bed, as you're going to sleep, the vibration of the brain slows, goes below consciousness, fall asleep, and the next part of falling asleep, the mind is in theta before it goes to the lowest vibration, delta, which is unconscious. Theta is hypnosis. Put earbuds on, earphones on, play self-help programs that you want to manifest in your life as you're
Hmm.
going to bed every night. I go, it's called self-hypnosis. You're in theta for a period of time, whatever's coming through the hearing aids at this moment, those programs are going into the subconscious. You have to repeat that a while because
Yeah.
theta is not a long lasting period. It's relatively short before the next lower vibration delta sleep, okay?
Hmm.
So self-hypnosis. You also got programs after age 7. You were not in hypnosis. I said, how did you learn how to drive a car? How did you learn to play a music instrument? I say, repetition,
Yeah.
practice, habituation. You want to change your life? Behave in a different way, practicing every day to behave in a different way. Practicing with a conscious mind saying, I'm going to change the behavior. I'm doing this every day. Okay? That's habituation, and you can change the program. The third way is a new type of psychology called energy psychology. I go, what's that? I say, a psychology is not based on your history of who did what to who, your parents, your kid, your family, your friends, how they mess with you, and you talk about them. And it's like, oh, upbringing, my programming is so bad. I go, it's irrelevant to play the history of how you got the program. Why? You
Not help.
already have the program.
Not helpful.
Go, going back, there's a saying, don't kill the messenger over the message.
Yeah.
The people who brought those things into your life where you acquire a program to respond to them, they're the messengers. The message is now the program. Energy psychology modalities work on a super learning mechanism to download new beliefs. A child before age 7 is a super learner. Why? One experience, and that child can have a memory of it for his whole lifetime. Okay? Energy psychology engages the super learning process in people past age 7, which allows you to download a program in minutes. Self hypnosis, habituation, repetition, time. Energy psychology, super learning, shorten. You can reprogram a belief you had your whole life in 10, 15 minutes, walk away.
Wow.
My website, brucelipton.com.
Hmm.
The resources, I have 25 or more energy psychology modalities listed with a paragraph of a description and a website to get in touch with the source. I highly recommend that
So
because,
energy
yeah,
psychology is not something that would do they have to do it with a practitioner or can they do it on their own?
you can do it on your own, but I wouldn't recommend that at all
Okay.
because you can fool yourself just as well as help yourself, and so it may not work. An outside person as a facilitator can help
Hmm.
you make sure that what you're programming is supporting you rather than a new program that will undermine you in a different way.
Because
So yeah,
it's hard to see your own programs. You may not even
you
see the
can't see
ones.
your own
Yeah.
program because you're playing a program because you're thinking and looking inside. The program is manifesting outside. You're not looking out. You don't
Hmm.
see your own program.
Hmm. Hmm. Bruce, this has been really wonderful, and I just love what you share, all this wisdom. What would you say is like a tiny step someone could do today that's going to shift them out of the old programs and into this new conscious evolution?
The most important thing is A, look at where your programs are taking away your life because if you have something good coming in, don't waste your time messing with that. That program is already doing good. You want to look at where am I struggling because a struggle is a manifestation of a negative programming. So you know what I need to work on
Mm,
and then start to apply self hypnosis, repetition, habituation, or energy psychology on the very specific programs that you are trying to override by effort,
mhm,
work.
mhm,
I'm sweating over, I'm going to make it happen. I go, that will not change the program. It will just frustrate you.
mhm.
There are three ways: self hypnosis, habituation, energy psychology.
So you look at where you are struggling in your life, and that can point
That
you in the
is
direction of the programs.
That's the manifest. A program is what's causing struggle.
Hmm. Yep.
That's it.
Bruce, your book, Beyond Darwin, is available when and where?
August 18th, it will
Hmm.
be out on the market, available at all booksellers. And I hope you have a chance. Why? It is a source of self empowerment and a vision of hope in a world that looks pretty hopeless.
Mm. Well, you're shining the light in this evolution of humanity in a direction where we've got less competition, more harmony, more cooperation, and in that way we can also help our earth as well because we're going to be in harmony with the earth.
We have to help our health, our earth. It's not a suggestion. If we
Mhm.
don't help it, we won't be able to survive.
So true. And Bruce, so people can find you on your website. We'll have the links below. Whatever links we have for your book, we'll have that in the description as well. So anyone watching, listening, go ahead and get Bruce's new book. I know if it's anything like your other book, it's going to be an amazing gift to the world. Well, you've written many books, but the biology of belief translated into I don't know how many languages.
Let's see.
Millions of people have read it
Yes. Yes.
and are still reading it, So it's a timeless just gift to the world for people to
Yeah.
understand We've been given incorrect programs, time to change them.
Yes. Thank you
Bruce,
so much, Jane, for this opportunity. Thank you.
oh, honestly, all my honor. Thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for this body of work that really has changed the world. So, thank you so much. And to
Thank
everyone
you.
watching and listening, thank you for being here today. And go ahead, get Bruce's new book and share this with someone who needs to hear it. We need to get out of these programs and start creating harmony and cooperation.
Thank
All
you.
right. Have a beautiful day. We'll see you again soon.